Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hoagies N Pierogis number 21. Let's go. I'm your host, Ian DiCarlo.
It's your boy Hammy.
How you doing, RJ?
I'm doing great. I had a great weekend for my team, so I can't complain at all.
I did as well. Good betting weekend. Good team morale weekend.
Very good weekend. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's a stressful week this week, but great weekend.
Yep. Before we got into things today, this past week, on September 15th, it was Roberto Clemente Day. I think that was last Thursday. And it would just be a shame if I didn't mention him. He means so much to Pittsburgh. Number 21 should be retired league-wide. And some motherfucker lied about it. He was like, oh, we're here at Citi Field. There's number 21 definitely will be retired. There's 7 former major league players here. Half of them work for MLB Network, and the other 3 are like a train ride away. Just like, why would you not show up to honor Roberto Clemente?
I think I saw you say something. You were tweeting about that or something, and I think I thought it was a lot more than, because I didn't understand what you were fighting with this guy about, I think. And I was like, oh, something's going on in the MLB world.
So I got a 12-hour ban because I responded to him. Why couldn't you have been the one in a plane crash? And yeah, that's I understand why that got a ban on Twitter.
That's pretty understandable, I'd say. I'd say that makes sense.
It's probably the cleanest way to tell someone they can go, die.
Literally wish they were dead.
But yeah, that's how we'll honor Roberto Clemente. It's also fitting that this is episode 21.
Oh yeah, it is. How perfect is that?
Let's go. All right. So now that that's out of the way, I would just be remiss if I didn't say something about that. We love you, Roberto Clemente. Retire number 21 league wide.
Do it.
Absolutely do it. All right. College football, Saturday.
Big day.
Let's go.
Not a lot of big matchups, but you definitely learned a lot about a lot of teams this weekend. And I've got a lot of thoughts. I talked about one briefly with Ian before we started, and he disagreed, but I'll make my point later about it.
Okay.
I've got this fucking fly. But anyway,
I have one in my room too.
I want to start real quick with Florida State on Friday night. I thought they were very impressive. Jordan Travis he's a pretty damn good quarterback, and I bet on Florida State that night, and it was like, it ended up being closer than I think the game shows. Like, they only won by 4, but I mean, Florida State might make some noise in the ACC this year. We'll see how Clemson plays Wake this week, and I think that's we'll really see how those teams match up and see how vulnerable Clemson really is, or see how good their defense really is, because Wake's offense is explosive.
I was going to say, it'll either be a really exciting game or a really boring game.
Yeah.
Like, it's either going to be like 50-50 or 50-0.
It could be like what everyone thought Oklahoma Nebraska was going to be, or it could be exactly like Oklahoma Nebraska ended up being, which was a disaster for Nebraska. And I was on the wrong side of that one. I thought, I thought interim coach, there was all this stuff about how Oklahoma, that the interim coach used to play for Nebraska. Oklahoma ended his career. He was on that LSU staff when they kicked the absolute shit out of Oklahoma in the 2019 playoff. And I was like, I bought so into the storylines. And then, it was bad. It looked so good that first drive. Shit. I don't know if you saw it.
I wasn't. I didn't watch any games on Friday. I was driving to Pittsburgh.
Oh, that was Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
It was in the early slate.
Oh, okay. What was I watching? Yeah. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah,
Watching
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma blow out Nebraska. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Nebraska drove down like beautifully. It looked so good. I was like, holy shit, Nebraska's going to keep this close. They might win. And
yeah.
then they just became completely incompetent, and they're a laughing stock. I mean,
They
I think
were
it's bad. They're
yeah,
bad.
they were part of the parlay that I won on Saturday for the early slate when I won
Oh,
180
nice.
bucks.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, it was 180 bucks. It was for them to cover 11 and a half points. Yeah, pretty easy, in my opinion. After they just fired Scott Frost, I mean, like, I know
Yeah,
that might motivate them to play a little bit
some
harder, but it really didn't.
yeah, there were stories coming out about Scott Frost. Like, I guess home life was getting involved. Sometimes like showing up drunk or something. So
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, this guy was just a piece of shit. And
Scott Frost, more like Scott Natty Ice.
so it was bad. I ended up hedging. I took Oklahoma minus 33.5 live for like 3 units, and it covered easy. Covered easy.
Oh my
So,
god.
um, yeah, that was a game that some people were excited for, and it just didn't end up going well.
Yeah, one that Shane was looking forward to all day was the Oregon BYU game.
That was I couldn't have been more right about that game, man. All this hype. Now BYU has a tough schedule this year, and I think even with that one loss, if you look at their schedule, they still have a path to end up being in the playoff if they win the rest of their games, because I think there's a lot of parity this year compared
Hmm.
to other years where I think the Big Ten can really eat at each other, where it might be hard to come out of the Big Ten East. The Big Ten West sucks with like undefeated, and
Yeah.
BYU has a tough schedule, and Oregon they got the shit kicked out of them. I think you learned more. You learned more about Georgia in that BYU Oregon game than you learned about either of those teams. I think, and
I think you're right. Yeah,
Georgia's scary. I think we
they
kind of
are.
talked about it last week. They are very scary now. Desmond,
Yeah.
what's his? Not Desmond Ritter. Whatever the guy at South Carolina. He's bad. Rattler, Spencer
Oh,
Rattler.
Rattler. Oh yeah, we talked about Rattler last week.
Yeah,
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 he's bad.
yeah. He is
Now,
really bad.
confirmed bad. And Georgia's defense confirmed might be better than last
Dude,
year.
it's insane. I can't remember the receiver on Georgia's name, but he's like a 6'1", pretty hefty wide receiver, white.
I can't. Oh. Are you talking about their tight end, Brock Bowers?
Uh,
Number
uh,
nine, number 19?
I thought Bowers was bigger because this guy he was like a little bit thicker, but I don't think he was 6'7".
Oh, maybe it's not bad. I know they have like three tight
I know
ends that are
their
just really good.
yeah, their tight end is insane, like bigger than Gronk.
And Stetson Bennett, good for him, man, because a lot of people thought after he won that national championship last year, he would just live out his days in Georgia as just like a legend,
Yeah,
and that he might not even start this year. And also credit to Kirby for starting him because he's taken an extra step. And hell, he could be he could be picked in the draft this year if he keeps playing like he is.
he really has. He's playing out of his mind.
I don't think he's making the craziest throws considering who they've played, but
Mhm.
I mean, he's certainly not. The offense is so impressive. It's amazing. And those
I
tight ends
did.
are freaks of nature.
Going back to the Oregon game, they had to apologize today. They released an apology for saying "fuck the Mormons" during the game. Like the whole stadium broke out in a "fuck you Mormons" chant.
I did not realize that.
And Shane, I remember Shane showed me a tweet that was like, if that were anything like replaced with Jews or like Christians or like Catholics, that would be like a real problem. Could you imagine? Fuck the Jew. Like what?
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be really bad. I just,
My God.
well, people have a much more different opinion about Mormons, I guess now, where they're more
Yeah.
universally. That's not good. Now that you really talk about it, like
So
people make fun of Mormons a lot and stuff, but it's like
It's still like a little bit over the top.
I guess it's kind of maybe I don't know. Maybe if it's like just because it's a newer like religion, people are like, oh, it's not Mormons. I don't know. It's all a
Who
bunch of bullshit
knows?
anyway.
We definitely don't have to worry about them though. Did you see what the founder of Beyond Meat did?
No.
So after the after Arkansas won over Missouri State, he got into a fight outside the stadium and he was charged with terroristic threatening and third-degree battery for biting a man's nose.
Holy
The
shit.
founder of Beyond Meat is a cannibal. How ironic is that?
Wait, Beyond Meat is like a company? I thought Beyond Meat was like
He's the COO.
but I didn't know it was a company. I thought it was just like a thing. I thought it was like veggie burgers. You have
Yeah,
Beyond Burgers.
Beyond is like the brand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that. Did you see that video of that guy losing his mind at McDonald's in New York? Pulled out an axe out of his bag,
An
like a hand.
axe?
Yeah, he pulled out an axe in his hand and was just like smashing tables and like
Oh
threatening
my
people.
god.
But he also, before he pulled the axe out, he was like, I don't know what he was doing. He was getting in people's faces and they were fighting. And he just like ended up in the corner, just taking punches like eating punches to the face. Like maybe 15 punches to the face. Didn't phase him. He like calmly looked like he was about to walk out. He stopped, put his bag down, opened it up, and just pulled out an axe. And was like, I'm gonna start fucking things up.
Fight over. Fight over at that point. Like there's no
Everyone was like immediately like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'd have been like, fuck that. People are just still standing there recording. I'd have been like, this man has an axe.
You don't want to do that. Oh my god.
Yeah. People
It's
are
some
insane.
insane stuff just happening all over the place.
Yeah. So I want to talk about a team that's kind of been a surprise this year. And I think we talked about them a little bit last week. Basketball schools becoming football schools. The Kansas Jayhawks are making some goddamn noise.
Uh-huh.
Lance Leipold has got that team showing out. That quarterback is good. They just score. Score, score, score. They're going to be, last year when Texas lost to Kansas, it was like, oh my God, how did you lose to Kansas? This year, it's like they're not, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna be like contending for sure, but they're gonna scare some teams that don't have that great of a defense, and that's the Big 12. Big 12 not very big on defense.
Yeah.
Kansas is gonna put up points, and it's just a matter of, can you put up more when it comes to them?
They
So
are. I think I'm on the Kansas betting train. I think I might be riding them for the rest of the season.
I
They
know
won
we're
me
starting to.
my second parlay of the day for 160 this time.
Oh.
So it was Pittsburgh money line, South Florida to cover by 23 points, and they did. They only lost by 3, and then Kansas
Yeah,
money
that's.
line, which was a 245 underdog. That's
Damn.
why we had
Yeah,
to go
they're.
back to the casino after the game on Sunday. Oh my God, it was
You had to
maddening.
cash out.
Yeah.
Oh.
And of course, Shane sat there and he wanted to play a hand of craps. He wanted to play some craps.
And then you didn't just play one. You played
No, and I was like, I
multiple.
was just standing behind him. I was like, Shane, come on. He was like, do you want to sit down and watch some games? And I was like, you're the one that has to drive to York tonight. And he was like, yeah, true. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, wow. There was I watched a bunch of games, but a lot of them were kind of blowouts. I, I'll save my thing for last. Tennessee kills Akron. That was like not surprising. Ohio State showing their flexing their muscles against Toledo.
Hmm.
Maryland, a bit of a surprise. They should have
What was the final score of that?
34-27. Not surprising. They were favored by 3. They ended up, I think they went on like a drive at the end. Yeah, it was tied. They went on a drive to win it. And there's a lot of hype for Maryland right now, but they're going into Ann Arbor this week against Michigan.
Oh.
And I think they get absolutely stomped because I don't think they have a defense. I think they're 17-point dogs maybe, and I still think
Jesus.
that might not be enough. I think it's back to Ohio State had a couple years where they were, on top in the Big Ten, never really, contended. No one else really fought them. I think it's a big three this year, maybe even four. I might throw Michigan State in there, but I think it's
Yeah,
going to be
maybe.
like those. I mean, Penn State always gives Ohio State pretty tough games, but I think it's going to be a lot closer this year
In
because
the
that
first half.
defense. What? This year?
I said they usually fend them off for one half or three
Oh yeah,
quarters.
yeah. It's usually the half, and then
Kind of just
that's
falls
that's how
apart.
it's been. But I don't know. I'm all over the. Let's just get to it. Let's just talk about Penn State Auburn
Yes.
because I was losing my mind during that game. Many people on Twitter were not happy with me. I was just I was recording myself freaking out. I stood up on my chair. The chair shot out from under me. I fell onto the ground. I had so much fun watching that game, and I think maybe not criminally underrated because the AP poll, whatever, fuck the AP poll. It's stupid. It's just beat writers that don't get to watch every game. But I truly think our resume should put us in the top 10. And the only reason we're not is because we started outside of the top 10. But like Purdue was a tough win on the road to go into Purdue and win like we did. Ohio, whatever, it's just Ohio University, but we played very well. We put up points. And then to go into now Auburn might not be that good this year, but to go into Jordan Hare, an SEC school, and just absolutely stomp them, that's pretty fucking impressive, if you ask me. Especially the team that was not very. There was not many expectations for us, including me. I thought we were going to get blown out in that game to start the season. And now I am all the way back on. I am Mr. Penn State. I'm Captain Whiteout. I think we're not gonna I'm not saying we're gonna win the Big Ten, but there's a path where Penn State could do some things, and I just still don't know about Clifford. It's the only
So
thing that's stopping me.
you're mad that they went from 22 to 14 after beating an unranked Auburn team. And then
I
you
don't care
have
about like the fact that Auburn was unranked. That's not easy to go do. I think
who are you going to put them ahead of? Not going to put them ahead of Utah. North Carolina State, you probably could put them ahead of. Tennessee, I don't know. Arkansas is where you start getting a little. You're not going to put them in the top 10
I think you could put them ahead of
for
Arkansas.
beating an unranked team.
Arkansas almost lost to fucking Missouri State.
I
I
know,
don't think
but they went up
Arkansas is that good.
8 spots for beating an unranked team.
I
That's
don't know.
that's
I
all it
mean,
comes down to.
we'll move up. We'll move up as it goes.
They'll be fine. Yeah,
We'll end up in the top 10, but
they also got 666 points. So in the AP poll, so
yeah, the
they're cursed.
preseason rankings are stupid because they definitely like they go week by week and they just go off of what they previously ranked the teams the week before.
Yeah, it plays a factor.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
they're
Maybe
not
all
lying.
right. There were some teams that I looked at and I just don't know. I just am. This is where I
Unranked,
was at.
unranked, 22-14. I mean, that's a pretty good
Yeah,
progression.
no, it's not bad. And I'm talking to myself into them being pretty good because like Clifford made some throws. We were able to run the ball. Nate Singleton, I think his first name's Nate. He is like maybe the second coming of Saquon, and he's only a freshman. I'm going into Captain White out here. He's so good, and the defense was awesome. I didn't realize we had Joey Porter's son on the team. That's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, he's their cornerback, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good
Low
too.
key, we have produced a lot of good defensive players. I wouldn't say low key, but even cornerbacks. Usually people talk about like LSU and Alabama.
Hmm.
We got some good cornerbacks out there. And it's really sad because all my favorite Penn State players go to other NFC East teams, and it makes me sad. I have Micah Parsons just wrecking people.
Oh, he
Uh,
is for the Cowboys. He's having a great year.
yeah, we'll get to that. I'm very excited for the rest of the year, but I'm setting myself up. I know I'm setting myself up for my day to be ruined when we play Minnesota at home. The whiteouts against Minnesota, a team that I think we should not lose to. We are traditionally we are not the.
That is why I drink the whiteout. I hope Penn State wins.
The whiteout, we're not that good during whiteouts. We don't have the best record because usually it is against like Ohio State or Michigan, and those are just big rivalry games. You're not always going to win those. So
yeah,
I was on a Spaces that night, and I was talking to some other Penn State people, and that's what I said. I was like, I'm just so afraid this is setting us up to just lose tragically at the whiteout against Minnesota. But I don't know. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe James Franklin will show that he deserved that contract.
Well, I do hope that they fare well. Don't get me wrong. I am also a Penn State fan, so I do not have any ill will towards Penn State. Just Pitt.
Yes, I know. It's
college.
After I had a couple days to think about it, you're kind of right. Maybe top 10 after how it's gone is a little too.
I mean, they almost lost
dramatic.
To Purdue.
But going into Purdue to start the season, we did
an ugly loss.
We did. I wouldn't have called it an ugly loss.
That you regret because you're gonna. What if you go undefeated and you just lost that first game? You're gonna be like, son of a bitch.
Those are the way the playoff committee does picks teams though. I'd rather lose those early games than I would those late games.
Yeah, you're
right. Because I think
they take carry more weight.
They definitely do, especially because you're much more into conference play and stuff at that point. But I don't know. I've got high hopes. We got Central Michigan this week. I hope they, do what they need to do. I think this is you can learn a lot about Penn State this week if they go and just stomp them, because this is typically a spot where, last year, we were great and then we lost to Illinois.
Yeah,
we lost to Iowa.
That was so disappointing. Wasn't it 3 losses in a row or?
Yeah, it was 3. It was we were ranked it was us and Iowa. It was number 2. I think it was number 2 Iowa against number 3 Penn State last year, and that was when Clifford got hurt and we lost to Iowa. We should have won, but I was like, all right, Clifford got hurt. We can go on and move on from that. And then next week we lost to Illinois, so it was
yeah, that it was just all erased from my mind when they lost.
Yeah, that's how I know it's different. Is if they go Central Michigan and just kill them, because that's what they should do if they're as good as I think they are.
That is what they should do, especially after last week. I think last week probably gives them a lot of confidence going forward.
Yes.
All right. Is that it for college football?
Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Is there any games next week?
Yeah, you know what? Let me look. I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, Tennessee, Florida. That's
Tennessee, Florida.
Off the top of my head, that is the really big game. Oh, we talked about Clemson Wake real quick. Oh, we didn't talk about A&M Miami. That game was awful. That was a terrible
Texas game. A&M finally won a legit game, right?
Yeah, they won. But that's really all I have to say about that. That game was awful. Miami honestly should have won that game. I don't know what Jimbo's doing. He's supposed to have this high flying offense and stuff, and they can't score any points.
No, they only scored 33 against Samford.
Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily put Miami out of the playoff race either, but we'll see. That's the only thing I had from this week.
Yeah.
But
Kansas Duke might be an all right game. If Kansas keeps rolling, they'll crush Duke, but
yeah,
they're both 3-0.
Great matchup if it was a college basketball game. We just forgot to do that segment.
Tennessee, Florida as well.
That's true. Yeah, I think after we stopped recording, we were like, a lot of just these conference games are great basketball matchups.
Yeah. Texas Tech, Texas. Notre Dame, North Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah, Maryland, Michigan should be interesting. If Michigan, that's a game where, similar to Penn State, Michigan can really prove how good they are. Where, Maryland's been scoring a lot of points. A lot of people are talking about Tulia, however you say his name, Tua's younger brother.
On Maryland.
Yeah, and if they just stomp Maryland, which I think they will, that's like, all right, Michigan might be for real.
All right, Texas A&M Arkansas is probably the highest matchup. 10-3.
Yeah, that is always a weird game. They play it at AT&T Stadium.
Texas is favored by 2.
Yep. Texas A&M like always, it's always a weird game, but A&M like always ends up winning, except I think 2 years ago they lost. And I think I just fuck it. I'm gonna take Arkansas. I'm gonna take Arkansas because I don't think Arkansas is as good as they're ranked, but like Texas A&M hasn't shown me anything to like prove that I should take them as a favorite of all things.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I mean, I don't trust their Arkansas's quarterback, but
I don't. Yeah, it's a
Texas
little
A
questionable.
Texas A&M hasn't shown me anything, so fuck it.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
But I'll take the over because those games are always weird.
But yeah, no, I think that's it for college football. We got
Who did USC? Who did USC play this week?
that's a good question. I don't know. After it was probably after like 6:30 I stopped watching the games.
Yeah, it was late. I ordered
USC played Fresno State. They won 45-17.
oh yeah, that was a game that I thought was going to be interesting, but the Fresno's quarterback got hurt.
Ah.
Yeah, not much going on. I think after week 5 and 6 we'll start to get into these are the cupcake weeks for the SEC when they play those FCS teams and just kill them.
Yeah.
Before they get into real conference play.
All right. We got some overflow from last week. We were mentioning who the announcers were for Monday Night Football, and it was
Yes.
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Yep.
God
It
damn it.
feels, it makes Monday night games feel like awesome again.
I
Like
think
a
they
pass.
have Monday night energy. They don't
They
have
do.
they don't have Sunday afternoon energy.
No,
They
they
don't they
don't.
don't have America's game energy.
Yeah, no, they don't have Sunday afternoon. And they were like, I know a lot of people hate them. Like, I know Fiesta hates when they call Eagles games because he thinks Joe and Troy just hate the Eagles.
And that's
But
not false.
it's not Troy for Troy,
Especially
probably
for
not.
Troy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Joe Buck. I think they just point out a lot more maybe than other announcers do when teams are just not doing what they need to do and really bad. Like I saw people freaking out, like a lot of Vikings fans freaking out last night, like, shut up, Joe Buck. Like, stop talking about the Vikings. And it's like, well, you guys didn't look good last night. But yeah, they bring that big game feel, and I think having those two, the amount of money that ESPN paid them, I think ESPN is going to start to make sure that those Monday night games are good games because they have really been bad lately.
Mhm.
All the primetime games have been bad the past couple of years, I think. Like, I get so excited for Sunday night or Monday night, and I'm like, this game fucking sucks.
Yeah, and by the like halftime, you're like, you hear that,
Yeah.
and you want
Stop.
to go to sleep.
Yeah. Stop giving me. I don't care about these older rivalries that the Cowboys and Giants that we have twice a year on Sunday night or
Hmm.
Bears Packers. Like
I thought
those
the Bears were
games
gonna.
suck.
Yeah, I thought the Bears were gonna put up more of a fight last night.
They
Aaron
did.
Jones just went off though
They didn't
on
they
Sunday
didn't
night.
lose as much as I thought they were going to, but they just stop giving me these traditional rivalries. Start flexing games immediately and give me good matchups. Like even though it ended up being a blowout, Titans Bills, I was excited for because Titans had a letdown last week, and I was like, well, this is a great Titans spot where they're going to bounce back and make it close. Even though I bet on the Bills, it was still a great game because Josh Allen's just awesome.
Yeah, and so is Stephon Diggs. Like,
But yeah, let's go back to the overflow from last week. What did we have?
yeah. I just Geno, you gotta feel good for Geno Smith, dude. And did they win? Did Seattle win this week?
No,
Oh,
they
they
got
didn't.
killed. They got killed.
Ah, shit. I didn't
I
even watch.
mean,
But they played the 49ers, right? Or no, who did they
yeah,
play?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
the
played the
49ers.
49ers, which will I got some thoughts about that.
Yeah.
But you said that. Do we have to? How good do we have to feel for Geno Smith?
I mean, I feel good for him because he
Oh, West Virginia.
slung it at West Virginia. Yeah, and he just
I,
went off that year.
I'm pretty sure he has like a pending DUI. I
Oh,
think he
does he?
has. Remember when he got punched in the face
Yeah, I
in the
had a
Jets
DUI.
locker
It's all
room?
good.
He,
I'm an alright person.
yeah, that's true. I just know there's a couple things that Gino's maybe not the best person. His quote about people wrote me off. I didn't write back. I'm
Yeah,
okay.
that was
I'm o-
awesome. That was awesome.
I'm
I like
okay
it.
not writing back. I'm okay writing off Geno Smith, especially after this week. It's all right, Gino. You had a
Yeah,
great week.
yeah,
I
and
felt good for him because they were in those awesome uniforms. I love those lime greens.
yeah. So after that game, my biggest gripe about week one was stop running it out of the shotgun inside the 5 yard line.
They
You
didn't
have
listen
to
this week.
stop. And you know what? They did stop this week. Thank God. I saw Mac Jones do a quarterback sneak, and I was like, where was that? No one did a quarterback sneak last week. No one. I swear to you, no one did.
There was I don't I you have Javonte Williams. The Denver Broncos head coach might get fired before halfway through the season. If it keeps going the way it's going, their offense sucks. They cannot they are the worst team within 5 to 10 yards of the goal line that I have seen so far. They ran uh, multiple plays out of the shotgun. I'm starting to think that in that Super Bowl that they lost to the Patriots, I'm starting to think that fucking what's his name called a run play, and Russ was like, "No, I'm gonna check out of that to a pass."
It was all Russ that's doing this shit.
I'm starting because you have Javonte Williams line up in the eye or line up with Javonte Williams or Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon's
Yeah,
still good.
yeah.
Line
Line up
up.
in single back. Have him start 7 yards back. Just fucking bam.
Yes.
Come on.
Get him that downhill speed to just bust through or to jump over.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you line up in the shotgun and hand it off to him with no momentum, or you do a play action and throw a fade to Cortland Sutton twice in a row, the same play. I think that was this week, and it doesn't work. And it's like it didn't work the first time. It doesn't mean it's going to work the second time. I know fades are,
Yeah.
I'm growing to hate the fades. My dad used to love. He'd be like, just throw a fade to the big tight end. I've grown to hate them. They're awful because not all quarterbacks are good enough to throw that.
They're not, and it's kind of I don't know if you get a good one-on-one matchup, but it seems like teams are onto it where it seems like most fades are double covered now.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I want to talk to these head coaches. I want to sit them all down in the conference and say, what is with running out of the shotgun now? Because sometimes it does work, and I think it works when you don't have the defense backed up against the goal line
Mm-hmm.
because you're not covering much behind you.
I
So
like a good draw play. I don't like a straight up shotgun run.
yeah, like I said, sometimes it works, but I think more than often it doesn't work that well. You're not giving the running back any momentum. Maybe they're giving them time to develop holes, but if your offensive line's not doing well, those holes
Yes.
aren't going to develop.
Yeah,
You're
set him
better off
closer to the
just
line. He's gonna get to the line faster. If you don't open
yeah.
up holes fast enough, you're gonna fuck.
You're just you might as well just give them momentum to at least try and power through.
Mm-hmm. And it's still the Broncos' offensive line. It's
But
not
yeah,
really too much better than last year.
the, this week's game. Did you hear the crowd the crowd was counting down the
I
clock
saw
because they had so many delay of game penalties. The crowd was literally like five. They started counting at like 15 at one point. It's bad. Maybe we'll, come the rest of the season.
Jesus.
They fix this. They fix this all. But whew, that coach, immediate hot seat. Immediate.
Yeah, but I do the thing you said about Wilson was like they are kind of giving him free reign to do what he wants,
It's not working.
and it's not working at all. There's something needs to
That
change.
that field goal that they tried to kick against Seattle to win the game
Uh-huh.
was disgusting. Did
It
you
was like
see?
a 64-yard field goal or something like
It
that.
was it was to tie. I think it was 67 or something. It would have tied Justin Tucker's record.
Yeah, it was an absurd distance.
And Brandon McManus is a good kicker, but one, you're not in Denver, so you don't have the
Yeah.
thin air. And two, you let like a minute and a half run off the clock and then just called a timeout. Did you see the clips of the Manning
Yeah.
cast where Peyton called a
Timeout. Take a
timeout
timeout. Take a
63
timeout.
times? He said timeout
Timeout,
63
timeout, timeout, timeout,
times on
timeout, timeout, timeout.
This guy is, oh my god, that's just terrible decision making. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, they're gonna kick it now?
Yeah. Ugh.
Fuck him. I hate the Broncos now. I'm gonna bet against them every week now until they prove me otherwise. They suck.
Well, having Brownie the Elf as the Browns midfield logo. They were at the Jets though, right?
No, it was in Cleveland.
Or they were in Cleveland. So
Yeah. You need to get rid of Brownie.
get rid of Brownie right
Brownie's
now.
got to go. Brownie's got to go. You you lose a game when you're up 15.
Completely blow the game to the Jets.
Yeah. You lose to Joe Flacco. Number 19, Joe Flacco. That's Joe Flacco's given up. The fact he wears number 19.
Yeah.
But whew. Yeah, you got to kill Brownie the
looking
Elf.
at Garrett Wilson.
Oh, I
2
knew.
touchdowns, 100 some yards, and get 30 points. And I
And
have
you
him
know
on my
what?
fucking bench.
In the off season, like in preseason or something, I think there was a quote that came out that he said like he really liked the way Joe Flacco threw a ball. So they might have some chemistry there, and
If they keep winning games, Flacco might stay there.
I just want him to change his number. I can't stand looking at a number 19 quarterback. It's so ugly. It's like it's so stupid, but I'm like, why is he wearing 19? It just looks so bad.
It does. At least it's not.
Jets were that onside kick was awesome.
I was so mad that I didn't see these games. Because I was at the Steelers game.
Yeah. So
the most I could do was follow on my phone, and Shane was updating me the whole time.
Yeah. Let's go back. Let's backtrack a little bit to Thursday night. Chiefs Chargers. Another great primetime game on Amazon Prime. They had the most subscriptions. They had it on Twitch too.
Yeah, Amazon. Twitch is owned by Amazon, so they stream it on Twitch.
Oh.
Amazon Prime's channel.
Oh, I don't think people knew that because Amazon Prime had the most new subscribers of all time that night.
Really?
Yeah, more than maybe not of all time, more than Cyber Monday.
You can get a free Twitch subscription if you have a Prime membership.
I was gonna say, oh, okay.
You can, it's like a free, like a Prime sub or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that. But it was good. I liked the broadcast, and it was just a great game. The typical Chiefs Chargers game. This is what I'm talking about. Give me more primetime games like this. It is a rivalry, but they're both good teams.
Yeah, if the Super Bowl doesn't contain one of the Chiefs, Chargers, or Bills, I mean they're the three best teams clearly.
Yeah, by far.
Top of the fucking line.
I've got another team that, maybe not. I might put.
The Ravens and Dolphins are both really damn good.
I was gonna say the Ravens and Dolphins. The Ravens need to figure out their defense. The Dolphins are just they're just gonna.
Dolphins.
True. The Dolphins are just gonna put up points this year, I guess, because you just have the strategy of they just took the Chiefs' old strategy. Let's just get all the fast guys. They took Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle is a stud. I love his touchdown celebration.
Oh yeah, the
Waddle. The Waddle's awesome. I love the Waddle.
The Waddle is sweet. I can imagine the whole stadium going woo.
I love when they cut to the stands and you just see grown obese men doing the Waddle. And it's like that's probably how you normally walk.
Wah, 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 wah. But after that 76-yard run by Jackson, I was like, it's over.
Yeah. Reagan was watching the game. She was on FaceTime while we were watching the games, and I just kept looking at her. I'm like, Ravens are killing it. And then she's looking at me later. She's like, what the fuck is happening right now? And I was like, just wait. Maybe they'll pull it out.
See.
Tua's telling us. Did you see someone on Twitter took all of Tua's touchdown passes and like flipped it so it's him throwing right-handed.
No.
It's like beautiful. Like I was like, is it really that different? And I watched that, and then I watched him throwing regularly left-handed, and I'm like, oh, it looks ugly left-handed, but it looks beautiful when it's the other way. I don't understand. I don't get it.
It
But it was
does.
awesome.
It looks so awkward. Like it doesn't look like his arm should move that way.
Yeah, but
I guess
I,
from just
he's,
mirrored, it looks natural at that.
he's proven a couple haters wrong. I see about him. I think
Yeah.
it helps to have two really fast guys and Mike Gesicki, who his touchdown catch was awesome. Tua
I
just threw
didn't
it.
see that.
Tua literally slung it. I think they were maybe on the 15. Hot, like probably should have just been out of bounds, but Gesicki fucking went up there and got it. He was so high off the ground. I was like, I didn't know a white guy could jump that high.
I remember if it's anything similar, I saw him make one of those plays like that at Penn State
No, you know what it
against
was?
Temple.
Do you remember the Iowa game when he caught that touchdown pass at the back of the end zone to win a couple years ago? It was like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
last year and Trace's last
I
year.
thought the one at Temple, I think it was like a year or two earlier, was his most impressive one. That was also for a touchdown.
Yeah, and there wasn't anyone like around him, but he just got up, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh, there were 3 guys on him in the Temple game.
Ah, he is good. And I think he might emerge as a top tight end this year with, getting a little bit of pressure off him now that
I'm
Tyreek and Waddle are there.
I'm surprised he wasn't already talked about more because last year he had a really good year too.
He had a really good year. I think it's just the Dolphins offense wasn't as like high flying as it is now. And now I think basically what the Dolphins did was like, huh, the Chiefs are really good. Let's just do what they do. And they just have really fast guys and a big tight end that's gonna get open because you have to cover the other two. You have to cover Waddle and Tyreek Hill. They're both, I think, bona fide number one wide receivers. I don't think one's a 1 or 2 at this point. And
Absolutely.
you know,
They
I
just
just
make each
think,
other better. They
yeah,
literally do.
Gesicki had people. He was probably getting double covered before because that's all Tua really had. But now, whew, watch out. Dolphins might be good. The AFC, man, we talked about it before the season started. The AFC is scary.
Yeah, it's stacked. It is
Scary.
fucking stacked.
Let's talk about your game.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let's see here.
Panthers Giants.
So I went to the Patriots Steelers game in Pittsburgh on Sunday. Bye. Let's go. My first ever NFL game, first ever preseason, or I didn't never been to a preseason game or anything like that. First ever NFL game, and I got to see my Patriots win. Bye. Let's go.
Did you guys tailgate before?
We didn't tailgate. We just went to Southern Tier, right down the
Okay.
road. Yeah, we got there. We got there at like 10:30. We had to
Have
wait
you
like 15 minutes for like a standing spot.
have you been inside Heinz before?
I've
Well,
been inside.
Acrisure
Like I took a tour of the
store.
I took a tour of the stadium when I
But
was in like 3rd grade.
you hadn't been in for like any pick games or anything?
No, no, never for a game. The only time I've been in there was empty.
What'd you
Completely
think?
empty. It was insane.
It's
First
pretty.
off, first off, we had great seats. I want to see if I can bring this up here.
Yeah,
This was
Shane usually has pretty good seats for the games.
Yeah, this is the view from our. See if I can.
Up a little bit. There you go. Oh yeah, beautiful.
On the closed end, and we were in the shade the whole game.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, there was sun everywhere else. We were in the only shaded part.
So you were facing the river.
Yeah, yeah. And we
Oh,
got to see the
that
jet
is a
fly over.
that is a view, man.
It's my first game.
What
It's
a
my
dork.
first game.
What a dork.
So Shane's friend Tony came back and he was like, "Yo, I got something for you." I was like, "Oh shit!" And I'm really disappointed. I think I left it at Shane's house.
Oh.
But and it has like the date and the who they played on it. And so I would really like to keep it. I should text him.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be there this weekend. I don't know what difference it would make if I grab it, but I'll be there. I'll be there this weekend. So
Gotcha. And see if it's there at least.
So I was able to watch. This is the game that I had on TV, other than Red Zone. Stinky, stinky game.
It was a
Horrible.
super stinky game. It was.
It was horrible to watch.
They were moving up and down the field, and of course, on the first punt, it it's a great. It was like an 80-yard punt. So the kick returner backs up, and it goes through his hands, and like it hits his hands when he's at like the 2 or 3 yard line, and it goes into the end zone, and there's like a mad scramble for it. It goes down on it. Everyone's like, "Safety, let's go!" And then the refs are like, "Touchback for New England." People were losing their goddamn minds. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I'm surprised you made it out of there alive. They really don't like New England.
And well, now I don't know if Brady not being there makes a difference. Oh, everyone kept saying, "Look, you don't have Brady now." Yeah, it's been 3 years. Like, we know, we don't have Brady.
That's what I'm saying. No, they don't. The Steelers don't. Steelers fans don't let go of things. They keep
No,
like.
they
I
really
found
don't.
out. I found out since I was up here, like growing up an Eagles fan and like a Philly fan. All the only Pittsburgh team I hated was the Penguins. And like I came up here and I'd be like, oh, I'm an Eagles fan, and they'd be like, ugh, and I'd be like, oh, are you a Cowboys, Giants, or like Commanders fan? And they're like, no, I'm a Steelers fan. And I was like, what the fuck do you care about us? We're in completely separate divisions. Not conferences. We're in the we
Rivalry
play each
for
other. We play each other
everyone
once every
listening.
4 years or something like that, or twice every 4 years. It's like,
Yeah,
fuck off.
not that often at all.
Yeah. I was like, what do we do? So
That's
I was
so
like, fuck
funny.
you guys.
And there was a missed false start
False
call,
start. False fart.
and people were. There was this one guy. He got super drunk during the game, and he was just screaming, like you would absolutely get kicked out of a Pirates game. First thing this guy yelled, he said, like, "That's a fucking safety!" Like, someone would tell him, but there was like no security in the stands. It was
Yeah,
kind of weird.
there's so many people at those games that it's like people just say whatever they want. Since it's outside, it's a little different.
People
I think
took a joint at one point at halftime. I was like, "What? Are you serious?"
it's illegal, so I mean, they let people
Well,
have
like,
bring cigarettes in.
yeah, you can't. I don't know. There might be designated smoking areas at
I think there are.
Acrisure. There
I
aren't at
think
any baseball games nowadays, but
yeah, because we worked security for there for like community service or something for or like they gave us money or something to work it, and like they could bring in tins, they could bring in cigarettes, didn't matter.
mm-hmm.
Like they
That's
just let
good.
it through.
I
Yeah,
could bring. I brought in my vape pen, so I was,
yeah. They don't care about all that. They just let you go through with it. Um,
The only
I think
thing
there was. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I felt super terrible because I was hungover as shit on Sunday. We got into the car to leave for the stadium in the morning, and I almost said, "Shane, pull over."
Did you guys go out?
Yeah, dude.
Did you go to Tequila Cowboy?
No, on Saturday. So I got there at like it was like 12:30. We went to Walters. I had a couple beers there.
Did you get the wings?
Shane got the wings. I tried one of his. I could not pass up the brisket, dude. It was
Oh yeah.
so
Oh, I get the wings and the brisket when I go.
yeah, I got
it's
a half pound of fatty brisket, and that was
it's
good.
so good. It's my favorite.
I had two of Shane's wings. They were amazing.
Like last time I went to visit him, I was like, let's go somewhere else because every time I'm like, let's go to Walters. So and we went and got Mexican, and it was all right, but I was like, I should have just swallowed my pride and said, let's go to Walters.
Yeah. Then after that, we were at the sports book for probably like 3.5 hours. We put bets in on the games, and then played some blackjack, sat down, watched some games. Um, then we met his. It was his sister's birthday.
Yeah, you said you're going to what's it called?
Well, we went to the place that used to be Pork and Beans. I don't know what it's
Hofbrau House.
called now. But
You said you were going to
then
Hofbrau
after
House.
we met her at that bar, we went to the Hofbräu house. But we
Uh,
got a huge stein
ooh,
of Hefeweizen.
I've never been there, so we've only ever whenever I've gone, we go to McFadden's and we go to Oh yeah, I saw
The
that.
big mug.
We go to McFadden's and Tequila Cowboy, and someone usually gets kicked out of one of them, and it's been me a couple times.
Someone always gets kicked out of Tequila Cowboy.
Yeah, that security's like on top of shit. Our friend Ryan got kicked out because he was texting like this, but that's how he always texts.
Oh my god! So someone thought he was taking a
They thought
picture.
they thought he
Yeah.
was they thought he was hammered, like just trying to see
Oh
what he was
yeah,
typing.
like
And he literally,
oh that's such a bullshit excuse. That's probably
yeah.
why my friend Ray got kicked out because
I got
he doesn't get drunk like that.
I got kicked out. I got the first time I went to Pittsburgh and visited him. I got kicked out of Tequila Cowboy and I got kicked out of McFadden's. Both times I went into the bathroom. I went to the bathroom to go to the bathroom, and they like just dragged me out of the bathroom and kicked me out. And I was like, "What did I do?" And I was like very drunk, and maybe they just realized I was very drunk, so they just kicked me out. But I was like, I didn't do anything. And I got really upset.
Did they hear you going?
I just went pee.
But after that, it was like 9:30. It was almost 9:30 when we left the Hofbräu house, and I was like, "Do you want to go to the comedy club?" I was like, "I know who's performing there tonight, and she's really fucking funny." Jessica Kirsten. And he was like, "Yeah, but where's the Pittsburgh Improv?" I said, "I don't know."
Figured out.
So I just bought tickets. He put it in the GPS. It ended up being in the waterfront. So that's like a really, really nice area. There's just shops and restaurants down there.
Oh, nice.
And we had a great time. It was like a 2 hour show.
I've
Free
always wanted to
tickets.
go to like a comedy club. I've never been to one.
It was really cool. So it was a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be. It was set up like they do it in kind of in LA. There's like a
Yeah.
black room with a red light.
Hmm.
It's awesome. Yeah, I had such a good time. And then the cherry on top was the Patriots winning.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that they're. You know, I should have figured that they were gonna win when TJ Watt was out because TJ Watt just was such a disruptor, and it was very obvious that you know his presence was very obvious that he wasn't there.
Yeah, even though Alex Hightower this year looks like a he looks like a Pro Bowler.
I
Seriously.
also have Miles Jack. When did that happen?
That happened that was like 2 years ago. He broke out with this
I
team.
don't remember that.
But
Oh, I
yeah,
wanted to talk about Minka.
oh,
Minka Fitzpatrick is the second coming of Ed Reed. And I said this to
so
Shane,
good, so good.
and I was like, I was gonna say Palomalu because he's a Steeler, but it's like he doesn't play like Palomalu. He doesn't like blitz very often.
It's
He's
not as wild. It
he's
seems
a
more controlled.
yeah, he's a very good coverage safety. That interception he had this week reminded me of the one play Peyton always talks about where Ed Reed turns this way and comes all the way back around and picks him off. I mean, that's basically kind of what Minka did, but just not as
Yeah.
far. He's so good. He's so
So
impressive.
yeah, of course, Trubisky throws that interception that gets tipped. He should have never threw that. That was a terrible, terrible pass.
I heard there was Kenny chants going on.
To the second half, people were like, "We want Kenny.
Uh,
We want Kenny."
they're not gonna do that. Like the Steelers don't do that. They'll put him in eventually, but
And people were also like, "Wake the fuck up, Matt Canada."
yeah, I think that's the main issue. They're
I
running the same offense.
I really don't think that's the issue because his play designs work, but Trubisky is straight up throwing the ball in the wrong spot. Najee it was the last drive of the game. Najee had to he could have gained could have broken away for a touchdown. But for some reason, instead of throwing it to the outside, he threw it to the inside where three defenders immediately came in on him.
I just think they're running the same offense that they were running with Big Ben, and you know, Mitch isn't like Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts, but he's mobile and can move the pocket to make the. And I just think
Yeah,
they just keep running design checkdowns or screenplays, and it's
it,
like
yeah. Well,
they're
there's a
not
lot of designed first read plays where go with the first read no matter
yeah
what.
they're not trying to drive the ball downfield, and like you have George Pickens hasn't done anything yet. Get him in the game. And Deontay Johnson is good
He had
too.
some plays. He had some plays this week.
Yeah, and Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool are good. I think they're
That was the coolest thing about the game. You got to see the wide open receivers that were just completely missed or ignored. And it
yeah.
happened with both teams, but it happened with the Steelers a lot.
Oh my
Kobe
god.
Myers had a great game, and that Aguilar
He
touchdown
did.
was so hype. Oh my god! Of course, the lady in front of me stood up right when it was going to Aguilar.
What a bum.
And I was like, I have no choice. I have to stand up too. Fuck the people behind me.
Oh yeah. Doesn't matter.
Like,
Stand
this is
up.
my offense. I need to see it. But it was.
Yeah. This.
I've always wanted to see a Patriots win in person. It was on my literal bucket list.
Well, there you go. Look at you go.
To do is go to New England and see a game in New England. So the worst that I got at the game was when we were at Southern Tier. He was like, "You're wearing a Patriots jersey? Are you shitting me? Are you serious?" And he was obviously joking.
Yeah.
And then the only real he didn't even say anything. I walked out of the bathroom when everyone was leaving the stadium, and some guy looked at me straight at me and was just like, I pretended like I didn't see it. I didn't want to get into a fight.
Yeah, no reason to do that.
I made sure everything was not directed at anyone. Oh, man, last thing I want to say. Way too many Brady jerseys there. Way too many.
Oh, of course.
Way too many. And then so many unoriginal fucking scrubs. I saw so many number 10 Mac Jones jerseys. I wanted to punch them all at the end of the game.
I mean, of course. That's I mean
the only strange 69 jersey.
Well, yeah.
So happy.
Quarterback jerseys they're always the number one that you're going to see no matter what.
Come on. It makes you seem like a bandwagon. I know he's our franchise quarterback of the future, but it irked me. It irked me a little bit. It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the last thing I want to say about the game. It was a great experience. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time, Ian.
Thank you for thanking me on a good time, RJ.
No problem. But the rest overall, the games were kind of stinky all over. There was a couple like Miami, Baltimore was good. The ending to the Jets Browns is good.
Dude, I think one of the worst games is probably the Cowboys Bengals game.
Yeah, I don't know
That was just bad.
lots of memes and stuff going around on Twitter of what's his name? La'el Collins, that their new guard or tackle that they got. That was like, I'm your new protector to Joe Burrow. Like, no one's going to touch you. He's been sacked 13 times in 2 weeks.
Well, they signed La'el Collins from the Cowboys.
He's not like they're. If I were Joe Burrow, I would literally like not figuratively literally. I mean actually stab all of my offensive linemen because that's unacceptable. Like you have this high flying offense that you can have with T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Jamar Chase, and you're just getting no time for those receivers to even get remotely open. And yeah, they were able to run the ball a little bit with Joe Mixon, but I mean Micah Parsons, I mean maybe you take it with a grain of salt, but he wasn't the only one getting there. Like you had some other Cowboy scrubs getting in there that were like he just had no time whatsoever, and the next week is, they need to win next week. Otherwise, they're in some trouble. I think.
They are. I mean, Steelers are ahead of them in the division. I mean,
Yeah, and I think people are going to start being like, I think like in division fans and maybe some uneducated fans are going to be like, oh, Joe Burrow, it was just 1 year. It's not his fucking fault if he has less than 2 seconds to even try and get rid of the ball. Yeah. I mean, he just looked completely defeated. Like I'd be livid if I was him.
Yeah, I don't know if like he's tired or I mean, he always looks tired. Let's be honest.
He's just a cool dude. I think cool dudes just always look tired. Dude. The Lions got to win.
The
Fuck the
Lions got a
Commanders.
convincing win. Yes.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is that dude.
Shane had him. Oh my god. I saw that he had like fucking 40 points. I was like, no way.
He was wide open. Wide open. And it makes me so excited to watch this game next week where we can just fuck Carson Wentz in the ass. Because there's all of the receivers were just running wide open. And after watching our game last night, I'm like, whew, Jalen Hurts is going to have his pick of the litter of who to throw to.
we have some good matchups next week.
Yeah, I think the Colts are dead. Colts are dead. They're not making the playoffs. Not making the playoffs. They forgot.
That's going to be our first disappointment of the season, isn't it? We had such high hopes.
Yeah,
high hopes.
I think teams have forgotten about running backs this year. Legitimately.
I mean, what are you going to do without Pittman and Pierce, your top two wide receivers? I think they had another wide receiver out too.
I know. I guess. And historically,
when you can do that, you can just stack the box. I mean,
historically, they don't do well against the Jags in Jacksonville. So I don't maybe Frank Reich helped the Eagles win a Super Bowl, but maybe he's not that good of a head coach. But he's got the ultimate armor of they're just putting Band-Aids on the quarterback position, which they said they weren't going to do. I think what they should do, they should just suck this year. Just suck this year and get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. You get Bryce Young in that offense, and I don't know if they can somehow finagle another late first round pick, get a nice wide receiver for him. I mean, that puts him right back up.
Suck for luck V2.
Yeah, I don't know. And then
the Patriots are going to get dismantled by Baltimore, even though they're at home next week.
Yeah.
That's not going to be fun. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be bad. I got one less disappointing team for us, Ian. A team that we were both high on, quarterback that we thought had MVP aspirations. The Las Vegas Raiders are also in a tough spot right now.
Yeah.
Who do they play next week? That's a must-win game. Derek
Carr is not Aaron Rodgers. He can't just keep dumping it to Devontae Adams. He's trying way too hard to get it to him.
He was spreading it around, and I mean they were
more than week one. Yeah.
Yeah, much more than week one. That defense, the defense is. I thought the defense was going to be a lot better than they are. They should have never let Arizona back. I don't think you can necessarily say anything about Derek Carr in that game. I think he spread it around decently, and Hunter Renfrow. I think they probably were driving to win that game, and Hunter Renfrow fumbling twice. I think.
I don't have hope for Renfrow this season. I had high hopes for him, but
I don't have high hopes for the. Maybe it is just going to be Chiefs Chargers at the top because Denver doesn't look good, and
Denver looks worse than the Raiders do.
Yeah, and the Raiders.
Did you see?
I don't know.
Kyler Murray ran 85.5 yards on that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, what?
A total of 85 yards.
I saw a tweet that said, I think it might have been fake, but it was Kyler Murray when he scrambles looks like a toddler who just stole the remote from his parents and are trying to run away. And it had a video of him doing that, and I was like, oh my god, it literally does. He's like,
I just always think of him in that video in Madden where someone modded it or something, and they made the player 6 inches high with just a regular size helmet.
He looks. Well, that's what he looks like on the field. He looks like a bobblehead out there.
He does. He really does.
And he didn't really look like that good. And maybe the Cardinals are going to do an opposite this year, where instead of being really good at the beginning of the season and then sucking, maybe they'll be okay, and then they get DeAndre Hopkins back. The Rondale Moore's been out, and they start to look good. I mean, I forgot AJ Green was still in the league. I knew he was on the Cardinals last year, but I thought he had a different number last year. I thought he was 2 or something, and now he's 18 again. He had one of those single-digit numbers last year.
I don't think he was 18 last.
And this is what I don't know when it happened. When the fuck did Dalvin Cook change his number to 4? You can't do.
Did he?
He
Did he
changed. I
really?
think it happened this year. You can't do
Must
that
have. I mean,
shit.
it must have
Change
with
your
the rule
number.
changes.
Change your number when everyone else did last year. Don't. You're confusing me and everyone else when you do it a year later.
A
It's not
year late,
fair.
$1 short.
Not fair to everyone. I'm like, who the fuck is this number 4 that's running around over here? And they're like, Dalvin Cook with the carry. And I'm like, when the fuck did he do that? Don't do that to us.
Yeah,
When
who's this
rules
early
change-
round wide receiver? Like, I still am kind of iffy on the number changes, how they're not tied to groupings.
Well, oh yeah, I guess they are. I don't know. I like it because after watching so much college football, seeing these guys with the same numbers when they come in,
Yeah,
I guess I'm just used to it
cool.
because it's always weird. Like I forget what CeeDee Lamb was in college, but he was like a single digit, and then he went to
Was he
Cowboys.
number 1?
No, because Hurts was number 1.
Bama. Oh, yeah,
No,
that's right.
he went to Oklahoma. It was like 4 or something like that. I don't know, but and then he went to the Cowboys and was 88, and it just seemed weird to see
Jesus Christ.
the numbers look so fat. I don't know. I like the like Micah Parsons makes 11 look really good because
Yeah.
it might have something to do with just being good. Doesn't matter what
Yeah,
number you wear
exactly.
if you're just good.
Yeah, Judon can keep number 9 linebacker for the Patriots. Like,
I like the linebacker one is a little weird. It is a little weird.
Yeah.
The receivers and running backs is a little bit easier to get used to. Like
Yeah, just a little.
because like you kind of carry on that tradition, like wearing number 1 at Penn State or wearing number 7 at LSU. Like it's kind of like an honor, and being able to carry that into the NFL, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Um,
it is. It is.
let's talk these last 2 Monday night games, and then I need to eat and get back to studying.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Let me do my thing with the Eagles, and we'll talk the Bills.
Yes.
So, what'd you say? You cut out there.
I said Eagles up, baby.
Ah, okay.
Hard up.
The Eagles, man. Whew. Man, did we look good. I was scared. I was honestly a little scared of that game because I wasn't, we let Detroit come back into the game, and well, maybe Detroit's offense is a little bit better than everyone thought, but
Yeah, maybe.
I was like, I think I talked about last week. I was concerned about the defense. I was concerned about, Jalen just kind of focused on AJ Brown. He ran a lot, but this week, man, Darius Slay could have had 4 interceptions. He shut down Justin Jefferson. I think he had like 50 yards.
Slay went off. When they kept saying like, "Oh, it's Slay against Jefferson," like leading up to the game, I was like, are they just hyping this up to hype it up? Because I think Justin Jefferson is like way better than Slay is. But
No. Slay had like Slay's first year with the Eagles, he didn't do too much. And then last year, like after like midway through when the Eagles started to like put everything together, he kind of really started to gel in the defense. And this year, he's shutting people down. He is so good. I love him.
Yep.
It's great having CJ Gardner-Johnson in the back. I want to talk about Jalen Hurts though, because he must have I kept hearing about him talking about, throwing the ball and, getting better with his throws this offseason. Holy hell.
Did he I know he got over 300. Did he get over 350?
He had 333.
Nice.
I think we just started to run the ball. So he was dealing it. He was throwing it to the guy that was open. I've never seen Eagles receivers that open in I don't know how long. I mean, every receiver he was throwing to, it wasn't that hard, but he did make some tough throws. That touchdown pass to Quez, that long bomb. Mwah.
Beautiful.
Mwah.
Fucking chef's kiss.
Beautiful. I mean, there was a couple of times that we had Quez was open that far last year, and he missed him or underthrew him. He put it in a bucket. Devontae Smith got like nothing week 1. And I was like, why aren't they throwing it to him? They fed him this week. I think he's one of the smoothest route runners in the NFL. AJ Brown is just great to be a big guy. He's great throw the slants, the bubble screen, just get a couple yards, and power through. And man, people need to start. They do talk about Jalen's ability to run. I don't think he does it as flashy as Lamar.
Yeah.
Man, is he good at taking that ball and just running with it. He just like Lamar will make you miss. Jalen just like I don't know. He just like he'll take his time and be like, "Oh, there's a lane." And he just runs. There's just no one around him.
He seems so much slower than Lamar is, but I really don't think he's much slower than him.
I don't think
I know Lamar's fast as fuck, but like
yeah. I think he's slower, but it's maybe I don't know how big he is. I think his strides are just powerful. Like Randy Moss.
Yeah,
Randy Moss used to run. Randy Moss used to look like he was just gliding, and it didn't seem like his legs were moving so much slower than everyone else's, like less strides, but he was just going.
Yeah, Hurts is 6'1", 220.
He squats like 600.
Yeah, it looks like he does, you know. That's like almost running back weight.
He's a big body, and he's gotten smart this year of just going down. And I think he was good about it last year. Like he doesn't take those extra hits if he doesn't need to. Like
no, yeah, I don't think he's very injury prone. I think he likes to stay away from that as much as he can.
Yeah, he's very smart. Like he's like, all right, you know what? If I'm not going to try and fight for these yards, if it's not like if it's close, I'll go for it. But if it's not really close, he's like, all right, let me just slide, live to fight another day. You know, not get hurt. He was making the right reads. The running game, it was good last year, but Miles Sanders is looking like what we thought he was going to look like when we drafted him. Like,
yeah,
we would not get him. I would be so frustrated because we just wouldn't give him the ball. And now we've got like this three-headed monster of Sanders, who you can hand the ball off. He'll get you like 6-7 yards. Kenny Gainwell, who can, he's a good receiving running back and can get you a couple yards. And then Boston Scott. Boston Scott. He's like the new age Darren Sproles. Well, he'll just bowling ball his way through people, and it was very impressive. I still am reserving myself as far as the Vikings don't have like the greatest secondary.
Yeah,
and I don't think we face a good secondary for a while. Maybe not till the Cowboys. And I don't know how good their secondary is.
Yeah. Jesus, I don't even.
We play the Commanders, then we play the Cardinals.
Pittsburgh secondary after your bye week. I mean, Pitt secondary.
Oh, that would be okay. I think that'll be the true first test, and I think T.J. Watt will be back by then. So,
T.J. Watt's coming back week 8, so that might be.
That's that week. That's week 8. I'm almost certain.
It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll come back the next week. So TJ Watt still won't be available.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or maybe it is that week.
Yeah, like I could
maybe he does come back Philadelphia's bye week.
I forget what I said in our predictions, but I think we could go into the bye week undefeated.
You said loss against Arizona.
Okay. And I think that's realistic. It's at Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the defense can put pressure on. Like they're not going to have Hopkins back. The defense is going to put pressure on Kyler. Kyler can hurt us with his feet. Because I think our defensive line and linebackers are not that fast.
Yeah.
Until we get Nakobe Dean.
We're both 2-0 from May 13th.
That's insane.
2-0 on our selections, and I was only 1 point off the spread last week. I got it the first week.
Yeah.
And I got the spread to open up the Baltimore game, +3, New England.
Oh. Nice. Nate was texting me bitching about the Eagles schedule, and I looked at the Cowboys schedule, and I was like, Nate. Oops. I accidentally clicked the button. I was like, Nate, we have basically the exact same schedule. Like you play the Bucks instead of us playing. I think we play the Saints or the Falcons, and like that's it. It's like the NFC East. The NFC East altogether has a very favorable schedule this year, and I think that's one of the reasons the Eagles were picked very high. Like we don't have like the next couple of weeks: Washington, Jacksonville, Arizona, Dallas, Pittsburgh, Houston, Washington, Indy, Green Bay's tough.
So you know who you had your second loss to? You had your second loss to Indianapolis. It's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. And I think by then, Jordan Davis will be in the game more and just clogging up that hole, and Jonathan Taylor is not going to go anywhere. The big test, I think, the big test is going to be against Dallas because Zeke always plays good against us and gashes us. And if Jordan Davis is not in like every 2 plays, I'm going to be pissed because he needs to be in there to clog things up so Zeke can't gash us.
I think he does really good against the run, exactly what he was supposed to do when he drafted him.
I think that's what I hope he does. I don't need him. I don't need him to be getting to the quarterback. I just need him to stop the run.
Just like how Cole Strange manhandled Cam Hayward this weekend. Let's go.
And then Bills Titans. I mean, what
was it? 47-17, I think.
41-7.
41-7.
Von Miller is having a resurgence of a career, and Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs may be fighting each other for MVP.
Did you see Von Miller took a selfie with fans during the fourth quarter?
There's not much to say about that game. Like, if you watch the game, it speaks for itself. It completely speaks for itself. You don't need to say anything else. They're just good.
I would like to know how many times the Titans have lost by like 30 or more points. Because I feel like they've gotten blown out a lot.
They're due for some stinkers. Like, even the past couple of years, it's like typical Mike Vrabel where they like games they're favored.
Yeah.
Or games that they should win, they get blown out. And this was different. Like, this is a lot of people, I think a lot of like sharps took the Titans because it's like, all right, this is perfect Vrabel. Like, he'll cover or make it a close game. And
well, I'll never remember that game they played against the Patriots, and it was a snowstorm. And the Patriots won 59-7.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I remember that. Was that when Brady was still there?
Yeah, Carey. What was that guy's name from Penn State? Carey. Shit, I can't remember his last name.
I don't know.
He always looked like he was like a super alcoholic. I think he was. Kerry Collins. Yeah.
Oh.
He played for Penn State.
I'm finding out a lot of people that used to play for Penn State that I didn't know before I started like really being a fan. I had no idea like Chris Godwin played for Penn State. Even though I was watching those games, I wasn't as into college football making the connections.
Oh, gotcha.
Like I think he was right there with the one guy after they blocked the kick. Like, he was right with him running the ball in. Against Ohio State, sorry. I was not giving good context clues.
Oh shit. Yeah, Kerry Collins is a terrible person.
Oh, jeez.
In 1997, former Panthers quarterback Kerry Collins used the same word Cooper did. I'm not sure what this. I would assume it's in reference to Riley Cooper.
Yeah.
Former Panthers GM Bill Polian explained on ESPN's new NFL Insider show that it took a while for the Panthers to get past Collins' drunken use of a racial slur towards receiver Muhsin Muhammad. It eventually cleared up, Polian said.
I guarantee you that guy's name, Muhsin Muhammad, he definitely threw another like adjective in front of that word.
Yes, sand.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah, I'm almost sure.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. I just didn't want to. You know me. I don't always want to like come right out and say things sometimes.
If you know, you know.
Fuck your feelings.
Alrighty, RJ. I think we're all good for this week, huh?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Great weekend of football.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. So good.
Getting into a little slump with college. NFL is still going to be good. I'm hopeful for the Birds. If we lose this weekend, Ian, you may be doing a solo podcast from now on because I might be dead.
If you guys lose against the Commanders.
Yeah. That's me saying I'm going to kill myself. Is that going to get flagged on YouTube?
Hedge your happiness, RJ. Hedge your happiness.
What, bet on the Commanders? No.
Do a risk-free bet. Do it.
I don't have that. I should look up other.
Yeah, download a new sports book.
Yeah, I should. Deposit bonus.
Yeah,
matched up to $1,000. I'll deposit 1,000 and take it back out.
Oh my god, that's too good. Alrighty, everyone. That was episode 21 of Hoagies and Pierogis.
Peace out, everyone.
Adios.